Jenna Schaffer with the news. The Dubois County Health Department is reporting 8 additional cases of COVID-19. This brings the county's total to 780 positive cases and 16 deaths. Out of these 780 positive cases, 621 have recovered. This means that they are out of isolation and are reporting as feeling well. Approximately 6,040 residents have been tested for the virus. And as always, remember to practice social distancing, wear your face mask, and wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Indiana's COVID-19 numbers have been updated. As of Friday afternoon, the Indiana State Department of Health is reporting 2,992 deaths, 84,317 positive cases, and 958,432 individuals have been tested for the virus. Here are the numbers for our viewing area. Starting off with Dubois, 780 cases, 16 deaths. Pike is reporting 79 cases. Spencer with 144 cases and 3 deaths. Perry has 196 cases, 12 deaths. Martin is reporting 62 cases. Davies, 380 cases, 22 deaths. Orange with 202 cases, 24 deaths. Knox has 258 cases and 3 deaths. Crawford with 56 cases. Posey with 197. Lawrence with 377 cases, 27 deaths. Gibson has 276 cases and 4 deaths. And Vanderburg is reporting 2,290 cases with 17 deaths. To see a map of cases by county, head to in.gov/ISDH. A suspicious man has been seen in Spencer County, possibly targeting children. Reports of the man have been posted on social media. Witnesses say that he has been watching children get on school buses in the morning. While this person has not been charged with a crime, police remind parents to be vigilant when children are getting on school buses in the morning. Wednesday evening, the Jasper City Council discussed an ordinance originally passed in 2004, allowing the use of bows and arrows inside the city limits. The discussion focused on 2 aspects of the ordinance: cleaning up the text and strengthening safety concerns, while also adding the use of crossbows to the ordinance. District 3 Council member Chad Lueken first brought the issue up at a prior meeting with the desire to make archery in Jasper safer and more inclusive.
We've gone since 2004 with a 7-0 vote at that time by City Council at the recommendation of the Board of Public Works and Safety at that time. We've gone since then till now without any serious events, serious problems with enforcement of the ordinance or incidents. I think it's a pretty good track record. This is simply an improvement upon what we've established already since 2004.
Among the speakers from the public, Kevin Shepard with Great Outdoors of Jasper spoke on the growth of archery as a hobby. One particular area of growth has been for the use of crossbows, particularly for those physically restricted from using a compound bow.
What happens is you have to be able to pull 35 pounds to be able to use a compound bow or a recurve bow or a longbow. Most individuals can't do that until they become 13, 14, 15 years old. Some people can never do that. And so that restricts them from ever being interested in archery or being able to participate. So crossbows has given an opportunity for a lot more people who were restricted by compound bows in the past to be able to participate.
District 4 Council member Dave Hurst pointed out that shooting a firearm within city limits is illegal, raising the question on the difference between firearms and crossbows. For Shepard, the similarities are small.
The only function from a firearm standpoint that would be something that you and I would recognize is that I put it to my shoulder and I pull a trigger. Everything else about the crossbow is the bow. It's just the limbs are pulled horizontally rather than vertically.
discussion focused heavily on safety concerns. The cleaned up language of the ordinance gives more detailed specifics on what is required. For starters, all targets are required to have a backstop 100% in size on both sides of the target and a height of 6 feet with a minimum length of 6 feet on either side. Archers whom are underage must be supervised. Furthermore, no target should be in the direction of a street or public right-of-way. And the ordinance gives the discretion to the city police on determining recklessness and unsafe conditions. For Jasper Chief of Police Nathan Schmitt, the police are of no opinion when it comes to the ordinance. The important thing for him is ability for the police to act.
Give us discretion to say that, hey, if there's something unsafe, we can stop it. No arguments, and we can bring it in front of a board, the Board of Public Works, and they can either verify that it was unsafe or they can go against us, but we want to be able to stop that activity when it happens.
Recklessness and bad actors were not the only concerns brought up. City Attorney Renee Cabrick expressed her worries for when the safety standards fail.
I don't know who you all are worried about, but I'm worried about the situation where there is a careful person. Maybe it's just a new person, and they've gone out and they've set the target up and they have the berm or whatever they need to have that complies with the letter of our law, and the arrow gets away from them. They're not being reckless. They just had an accident.
Other concerns expressed were simply over the idea of archery in someone's backyard in the middle of Jasper. The current ordinance is fairly vague, but the update offers strengthened language on what is an unsafe environment. Additionally, several members of the council appeared to agree that a large portion of the homes in Jasper would not meet the criteria of a safe location for the practice of archery. The original ordinance and this new one simply provides more opportunity for the citizens of Jasper. Council member at large Phil Mundy spoke from a personal incident when a neighbor's child hit his grill with an arrow. For him, it simply is not acceptable to allow archery in Jasper with houses in the line of sight.
We make it that the target or the backdrop is 6 foot by 6 foot or whatever requirement you had.
Minimum.
And a home in a reasonable distance is not being used. In other words, there's no, if the home is a quarter of a mile away and there's no way that arrow's going to travel that far, I don't think anyway, I don't know that, then my house would be fine. But if my house in the city of Jasper and I'm the next lot over and my house is in direct line where that person is shooting, I cannot see and I cannot vote in any way, shape, or form that to be acceptable.
Ultimately, the council voted 4-3 to approve the new ordinance. However, the vote came on the first reading of the ordinance, which requires a 5-2 or 2/3 vote to be adopted. A Jasper company recently received a $90,879 grant to help with its COVID-19 response. Indiana Furniture Industries, Inc. has been headquartered in Jasper for over 100 years and provides customers with desks, chairs, and other office furnishings. This grant will go towards investing in technology to increase speed, reduce waste, enhance design capabilities, and expand product offerings within their seating operation. The company is one out of 20 businesses around the state who recently received nearly $2 million in manufacturing readiness grants. The program was first announced in May by Governor Eric Holcomb and is made possible through a partnership with the Indiana Economic Development Corporation and Connexus, Indiana. Since then, the program has received significant interest and additional applications are being reviewed. Although these applications would exceed the program's funds if approved, more grants could be in the near future. Connexus will continue assessing applications and make recommendations to the IEDC. Applications will be selected if and when more funding is available. To apply and for more information, visit connexusindiana.com. The DuBois County Chamber of Commerce finally was able to hold their first ribbon cutting. Thursday afternoon was the official ribbon cutting of Wellness Matters Chiropractic in Ferdinand, a new office run by Dr. Nancy Owens. This ribbon cutting is particularly special for the DuBois County Chamber of Commerce, as it was their first ribbon cutting ever since its inception earlier this year. Vice President of the DuBois County Chamber of Commerce, Brenda Adams, says that it's exciting to finally be able to have this event.
We have been somewhat frustrated because actually our first event was supposed to have been 2 days after the shutdown, and so we've been kind of frustrated with other events, having networking events and stuff by Zoom, but we hadn't had a chance to really get out and meet people and to, welcome them and stuff like this. So this is an exciting step for us, and we are hoping that this will continue and we'll be able to get out and be around with more people and have more events that we can share with the community and with the county.
Wellness Matters Chiropractic is located at 301 East 1st Street in Ferdinand. The Indiana Department of Transportation has announced lane restrictions for US 41 near Oaktown for a pipelining project. Beginning on or around Wednesday, August 26th, contractors will begin restricting lanes on US 41 just south of Oaktown at County Road 650 East, North Williams Road. One lane will be open in either direction at all times, and restrictions will be limited to daytime hours. Work is expected to last for about 5 days, depending on weather conditions. NDOT urges drivers to slow down and stay alert near crews. Planned Parenthood is dropping its federal court challenge to an Indiana law requiring women to undergo an ultrasound at least 18 hours before having an abortion. The law has been blocked by courts since 2017. The U.S. Supreme Court recently sent the case back to an appeals court for further review. Lawyers for Planned Parenthood and the state agreed in a Wednesday court by filing an injunction blocking the law should end on January 1st. Republican State Attorney General Curtis Hill described the agreement as a victory. Planned Parenthood said it could comply with what it called a medically unnecessary law without providing fewer patient services. The Hoosier Lottery has seen a slight drop in profits. Profits going to state government dropped by nearly $8 million in the past year. Agency leaders say they consider this a huge success after dealing with the novel coronavirus pandemic over the past few months. The lottery produced $304.5 million in profits to the state for the budget year that ended in June 30th. That's a 2.5% decline from a year earlier. The state directs $60 million of the lottery proceeds to pension funds for teachers, police officers, and firefighters, with most of the rest going toward reducing auto excise taxes. And we'll take a look at your weather forecast when we come back on 18 WJTS.